Poem 61. Everyone who believes in him will not perish, but will have eternal life. John 3 verses 14-18. And just as Moses lifted up the snake in the wilderness, thus it is necessary that the Son of Man be lifted up, so that everyone who believes in him will have eternal life. For in this way God loved the world, so that he gave his one and only Son, in order that everyone who believes in him will not perish, but will have eternal life. For God did not send his Son into the world in order that he should judge the world, but in order that the world should be saved through him. 18. The one who believes in him is not judged, but the one who does not believe has already been judged, because he has not believed in the name of the one and only Son of God. Self-reflection. How do I interpret the metaphor of Moses lifting up the snake in the wilderness and its connection to the Son of Man being lifted up? Do I believe in the concept of eternal life as described in these verses? How does this belief influence my perspective on life, death, and the afterlife? How does the idea of God giving his one and only Son for the salvation of humanity resonate with my beliefs about God's nature and love? What does it mean for me to believe in Jesus Christ? How do I personally understand the concept of faith, and how does it affect my relationship with God? How do I respond to the statement that those who believe in Jesus are not judged, while those who do not believe are already judged? How does this impact my view of divine justice and mercy? What practical implications do these verses have on my daily life and actions? How can I live out the teachings in a way that reflects my understanding of these scriptures? In the verses of John 3 verses 14-18, we are presented with a profound message of love, salvation, and eternal life. The passage begins with a reference to an event from the Old Testament, where Moses lifted up a serpent in the wilderness as a symbol of healing. Drawing upon this imagery, Jesus declares that just as the serpent was lifted up, so must the Son of Man be lifted up. This act of being lifted up refers to Jesus' crucifixion, a pivotal moment in his earthly ministry. The purpose of this lifting up is made clear, so that everyone who believes in him will have eternal life. God's love for the world is demonstrated through the giving of his one and only Son. It is through belief in him that we are saved from perishing and granted the gift of eternal life. This act of sacrifice and redemption is not meant to bring judgment upon the world, but rather to save it. The passage emphasizes the importance of belief in the Son of God. Those who believe in him are not judged, but those who do not believe have already been judged. The name of the one and only Son of God holds the power of salvation, and those who reject it stand condemned. These verses serve as a reminder of God's immense love for humanity and his desire for all to be saved. It calls us to place our faith in Jesus, the Son of Man who was lifted up for our sake. Through belief in him, we find the promise of eternal life and escape the judgment that awaits those who do not believe. It is a message of hope, grace, and the transformative power of faith. Let's read the poem. In the wilderness, a serpent was raised high, a symbol of healing, a hope in the sky. Just as Moses lifted it for all to see, so must the Son of Man be lifted, said he. God's love for the world, so pure and divine, he gave his Son, a love that intertwines. No judgment, but salvation is his aim. To save the world through Jesus' holy name. For those who believe, eternal life shall be, a gift from God's love, for all eyes to see. His one and only Son, he gave with grace, so that none shall perish, but find eternal embrace. God sent his Son not to judge, but to save. To redeem the world, and its souls he craves. Believe in him, and judgment shall not befall, but those who doubt, already stand in the thrall. For the name of the Son, the only one, is the path to salvation, the victory won. In him lies the hope, the truth, and the light. To believe in his name, is to walk in his sight. So let us lift our hearts, our voices, and pray, for the Son of Man, who showed us the way. In his love, we find solace, forgiveness, and peace, and in his name, eternal life shall never cease. So let us embrace this message of grace. Embrace the Son, seek his loving embrace. For in him lies redemption, eternal bliss, a promise of salvation, sealed with a heavenly kiss.